greatest Wednesday ever. Good morning. It is the 3rd of January, and I'm going to go ahead and blame this on the guy that didn't unalive himself, because I think that is what we're going to go ahead and blame everything on today. Good morning, Eris. Thank you for doing the Modly things. Good morning and great to see you, reindeer. Yes, Fry has grown into his big boy bed, though try to take the pineapple from his, cold, dead paws. He will not let me move it. Good morning, Christine and Little Peanut. And Sal, good morning. Good morning. And oh my gosh, you guys, so, in pain me might have made the best wig thing. Like, I feel, look, I may have an affinity for all Sissy Spacek movies ever. I truly feel like I just want to break out into I used to be a coal miner's daughter. I may have a parody in which I sing about our current resident in chief because he has always claimed to be a truck driver's son and a coal miner's daughter and all sorts of other things. But, you know, Mr. Mo's like, you better wear every single one of these new daggone wigs because we have to write them off for taxes. And I'm like, oh, challenge accepted. Good morning, Slinky. Good morning, Fedorowski. Thank you, Annabelle, for joining us. And thank you, Little Peanut, for the compliment. That makes me feel so great because, you know, uh, when trying to explain to my mother why I am buying all these wigs, she is a little confused. And I look, you know, I am trying to grow my hair out to this long and glorious length. And I'm not sure about the bangs, though. To be honest with you, as a wig, it's great. As reality, bangs are evil and should be stopped. But Fed, I always thought you two were a coal miner's daughter. Uh, I always felt we shared a special affinity. That's how I knew we would be best friends. Good morning, greedy bloke. Yes, Fry is a little down this morning. He didn't realize that Christmas break would come to an end and all of his friends would go back to school. Yeah, it's not really mine. I lied. Us females are tricky. We wear, different colors on our face. We have, bras that affect the size of our sweater puppies. I mean, we are all sorts of fraudulent sometimes. We even pretend to be nice sometimes. Good morning, alternate juror. Yeah, and good morning, JKD Buck. I am feeling much better than yesterday evening. I still am a little swollen and I had to get some stitches put in. So, like a 4-year-old who's not supposed to touch something, I keep feeling the little stitches and I'm like, oh, yes, Spanx are wonderful, but the devil. So, okay, sometimes, look, I no longer pretend with my husband because I think if I'm nice to him, I might, shock him into acute fear response because he might think I'm poisoning him. He, he really does not want to be fully on the dog bed. And Mr. Mo, look, we realized Friberto may be in a little bit of trouble because I have what is called obsessive vacuuming uh, issues. If I see anything on the floor, I vacuum like 3 times a day, and on the 1st of the month, I we have a shark, and I will wash the vacuum out because we have all the feathered animal, well, not all the furred animals and all the children, so I feel like our, filters get all the work, so to make sure our vacuums last, I, wash out the filters at the beginning of the month. And Mr. Friberto, we didn't realize, got one of the foam filters and tore it up. And he was very proud of himself. So I have been out without my favorite vacuum for about 3 days, and he is in trouble. He's been doing his best to eat all of the larger floor, treasures that are food, but I have been forced to use the vacuum that has the weird humming in it that I know it has a clog somewhere, but I can't figure it out. So we have one being rushed from Amazon, but he is still in big old trouble. But uh first, and this is very new, I just worked on it this morning, so let's see if it works. On our very first segue and stinger, One Way to Snake Island stinger, mostly for his lack thereof of comedy, Jimmy Kimmel goes scorch earth on Aaron Rodgers after he speculates on the late night host being in the Epstein document dump. Now, here's the clarification on the Epstein document dump as of this is not the list. So I know I found those. I am working on adding different things, and I have someone that's offered to help me set up the Stream Deck. So in theory, this year I will at some point become semi-professional. I will be all that Sarah Boone accused me of being, a professional YouTuber. It will be amazing. It'll be beautiful. Aaron Rodgers is an ass, but Jimmy Kimmel is a bigger one. So I'm okay with him going directly to Snake Island. Now, the Epstein list is just people that were vaguely mentioned in this defamation, suit. This is not the list of people who actually had dealings with him. So while we're getting all excited, this is definitely a sort of, diversion tactic. So while I'm all glad that Jimmy Kimmel's getting, deep in his feels again, for a man who did, again, get off your moral high horse as a man who did chicks on, trampolines and What Is in My Pocket and, blackface for most of your career, not to mention, Adam Carolla basically carried you on The Man Show. I'm sorry that you aren't funny when you're not with Adam Carolla and that you've skated on that, but you're not funny. Please get off of late night television. You're offensive to comedians. If you want to see a comedian actually get on a moral high horse and have a point, okay, you have a question, atheist ant. Your therapist told you to write letters to all the people I hate, then burn them. What do I do with all the letters? Read questions, atheist ant. Right. Well, what I would say is make sure you don't have any incriminating letters, and then make sure Mo has a good alibi and can't be called to your trial because her face will tell all the things. I tried that trick when my first husband passed, and I tried to write a letter, and like nothing, no words. I had nothing to write, so there was nothing to say. So, and my therapist was like, just give it a minute. And I was like, no, I really have nothing to say right now other than nothing nice. And I didn't want it to basically just be long, colorful diatribe. So I think I might wait on that one. But let's see. Jimmy Kimmel threatened to see Aaron Rodgers in court if the Jets quarterback kept insinuating that the late night host had a relationship with the late Jeffrey Epstein. Again, I don't know who watches the Pat McAfee show or whoever this guy is. Look, I neither watch Jimmy Kimmel or the Pat McAfee show. So Jimmy Kimmel most affected by this entire you know, it's amazing. The thing is that all of these names are just going to be people listed in this defamation case. They're they're not going to be, you know, that Wolfram, this might be the time to get him. His friend in crime has gone back to school. He's lonely and depressed. He's only going to be stuck with me for most of the day. Oh, I'm sorry, Eris. It's so while I don't really care whose names are on this list because these aren't the names that I care about. The real names, the real, dirt, they aren't going to get out. I mean, these are locked and sealed. And honestly, I wish Jimmy Kimmel would be on there because holy God, he's not funny. Not that I think that that's, neither here nor there. Eh, pain is relative. It's not a compare thing. It's not mine is worse than yours. If it hurts and bothers you, it hurts and bothers you. For goodness sake. I I hate those people that are like, "Well, let me tell you about." Eh, it hurts and bothers you. It makes it hard to get your day done. It is what it is. So Jimmy Kimmel again gets upon his high horse and is the same guy that did Chicks on Trampolines. And might I segue just one quick second here? Just one quick second. Um, y'all, can I be done? Can we all be done with Calendar Gate, chick who does uh cooking in a tight shirt, and the fact that ladies have boobs? Because it's 2024, and if y'all are unaware, chicks have boobs. Conservatives, holy God. Okay, I'm about done with y'all. Of all the dumb stuff to be worried about and have a freaking issue with, just pearly things, unless you have like unending amount of times that you know, have no sins of your own and need to go police other women, for the love of all that is holy, stop. The cake look good. I don't care. She's a very attractive woman. And y'all, for the love of all that is holy, if Mo gets to her goal weight, and now my only motivation now to get to my goal weight is to do something that will make just pearly things explode. I'm just saying. Like that now when I am doing, drop sets and squats or whatever the hell I'm going to do to get to my goal weight, it is now solely with the purpose to make just pearly things explode with whatever it is that I do, when I get to my goal weight. That's it. I mean, look, y'all, God made me fluffy for a reason because he knew I would be out in like some spandex and lycra and nothing else. But there you go. Just pearly things. Watch out because when I get to my goal weight, it's going to be on. But there you guys go. I figured I'd just join in since I am a commentator now and apparently my opinion counts for something. Wait till you figure out we have ankles, y'all. It's going to be on. About done with freaking people at this point, acting like a bunch of daggone children. Uh, you could have a worse day. Police in Kenya suspect a man was attacked by a lion while riding a motorcycle. I will be saving this when the youngest, most feral asks for a motorcycle. Now, he will probably point out, good afternoon, my Mini 67. Now, he will probably point out that we live nowhere near Nairobi, Kenya. But I will say, if there's a chance of lion attack, you're not getting a motorcycle. Police in Kenya on Monday recovered the body of a man believed to have been attacked by a lion while he was riding a motorcycle near a national reserve in the south of the country. The police were notified by community members of an abandoned motorcycle along a road near the Marari forested area near the Shimbara Hill National Reserve. Again, as always, Duct Tape and Holy Water Productions have and take no responsibility for the mispronunciation and desecration of pronunciations by their host because she just can't read. Anyhoozle, officers saw lion footprints that led from the motorcycle to a thicket where they found the remains of an unknown man, according to the police report. The lion population was declining in Kenya until they started motorcycling near the forest reserve. Look, just over a decade ago, primarily due to human-wildlife conflict. And then they're like, you know what? Ride your motorcycles right next to this reserve. We call it fast food for the lions. Look, it was truth in advertising. The government listed lions as endangered. Thank you, Wolfram, for gifting 5 memberships. And let me pull this up because I was not, of course, on top of things as per usual. And let me get those up. And I actually have brand new taggies coming soon. So let's see, little T. Oh, for the love of jerk. So that my murder board will look a little bit more like it was from someone that was actually questioning all the things. But yes, thank you so much. And thank you, Wolfram, for gifting memberships. Fry, must you move out of camera every 5 seconds? He's like, I is mad at you. You sent my friends to school. I am mad. Again, Elon Musk, please don't make Neuralink, make the dog talking Doug speech modulator. He is getting bigger. I need to call the trainer today to see if he can get in for an assessment very soon. Now, as an assessment, Atheist Dan, I'm not putting that up, but that was funny. As an assessment, everyone can have the Jesus tested in them. And apparently, someone in the fast food industry tested the Jesus in this pastor a little too much. This might be this one definitely wins and will go into the jar of the absurdist story for today. We went to Tussalon. A pastor accused of pushing a cook's head toward a deep fryer in a McDonald's assault after wife calls for his help, saying workers were disrespecting her. I am not sure if there's a way to gift 2 instead of 10 or 30. I think there's a way to gift 1 or 2. That is a technical question, and I will find out for you, but I don't know how to do that just yet. They disrespected his wife. There is a great song, and I'll have to do a song review on it. I believe it's I want to say either East African or Central African band, and I cannot remember the name of it. But if you look it up on YouTube, it's called Test Jesus. And the entire song is basically Test Jesus, not me, because I throw hands. And I want to make it my ringtone because I believe it might be my theme song. But a North Carolina pastor allegedly tried shoving a McDonald's cook into the fryer after the pastor's wife, a manager in training, called him, saying she was being disrespectful or disrespected. I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe they changed the sunshine laws and now you guys are getting in the news just like Florida with the Florida man. Good morning, Stray. Dwayne Wadden, 57, faces charges of assault in the attack on the 34-year-old cook. The drama happened on December 28th, so just 3 days after the birth of Jesus. At the eatery on Main Street in High Point, Wadden's wife called him saying she was being disrespected. Oh no. A police report obtained by Law and Crime alleged asphyxiation and that the victim was held down, hit, and struck. Oh my gosh. Witnesses said the suspect came into the McDonald's, walked around the counter, placed his hands around the neck of the victim, and pushed his head toward the deep fryer. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was in Ephesians somewhere. I mean, I'll have to consult the good book, but I'm pretty sure thou shalt not disrespect the pastor's wife is somewhere in there. Somewhere like right next to Deuteronomy. Thank you very much, Sarah Adams. I will put that. It does seem a little bit of excessive. And spirit matter, you got. So, yeah, it does seem a little excessive. I mean, I would have maybe said, don't disrespect my wife. She is a manager in training. She has this shiny badge. She's wearing more flair, you know, but maybe there are different rules in the McDowell's handbook. Come on, that was the funniest part of making or coming to America, McDowell's. Also, can we talk about how Eddie Murphy has not aged? I mean, if we remake Blade, which I know they're doing, can we star Eddie Murphy? Because the man hasn't aged. I mean, I know he has about as many children as Nick Carter. Possibly having 170 children is good for the soul. I don't know. But apparently he punched the offender several times in the face and did not stop till several employees pulled the offender off the victim, the document read. The victim suffered a large contusion to the forehead, right eye, along with scratches on his neck. Quote, I just got assaulted, the victim, hospitalized after the attack, reportedly called 911. And that was obtained by Fox affiliate WGHP. Quote, I was hit in my face several times. I have asthma, so I'm having an asthma attack. Wadden was arrested. Restaurant video captured the incident, police said. I'm sure that'll be on World Star TV very soon. Wadden was arrested. Okay. Freed from custody on bond, Wadden described to local CBS affiliate WFM My TV how he said it went down after the coworker came up from behind, mouthing off at me and disrespecting my wife. Quote, he got in my face, and when he got in my face, I pushed him, and when he pushed me, he grabbed me, Wadden told the station. So when he grabbed me, we went to tussling and stuff of that nature, and the floor was real slippery, so I kind of, look, what had happened, Your Honors, was the floor was slippery, and I simply hugged his neck to stay, coordinated and on the floor, and gravity is a thing, and we both wanted to stay. Sir. So I kind of bear hugged him, then he bear hugged. They were just hugging. They were hugging it out, Your Honor. Then he punched me in the back of my head, so when he punched me in the back of my head, I commenced to swinging. In the statement, McDonald said that the pastor's wife was no longer employed at the franchise. I can't imagine why. She brought so much light of Christ to the whole place. The safety and security of our employee, even Fry is wagging his tail right now. What's that a frame? See if I can get that in frame. I don't know. I'm sorry. I love that Fry's wagging his tail. He's just like, Mom's laughing. I don't know. Yeah, so in an interview, Wadden's wife told WGHP that she called for her husband, a pastor at Elevated Life International Ministries, telling him her employee had been directing expletives at her. He arrived at the restaurant and told her to gather her belongings and clock out. He denied pushing her worker's head into a fryer. Well, there you go. In other strange and ridiculous. Now, I did not stay on this case, but it is being shown to me every time I try to watch true crime. So I might have to dive headfirst into the strange and craziness that is Natalia Grace. It looks super insane and crazy, but what the heck is this? Natalia Grace, who is she and why she confronted her adopted father? This looks like twin flames on top of a dumpster fire, uh, right in the middle of Chernobyl. It looks ridiculous and all of the Walmart, so I might be all there for it. I don't know. The docuseries, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, took viewers by storm, and now the person at the center of it is having her say. The ID series, ID is owned by CNN, and I don't know that I want to give them money, explored the bizarre tale of an American couple who alleged the girl they adopted from Ukraine committing a fraud, you say? Perish the thought. In 2010 was actually an adult little person who they said wreaked havoc on their lives. The story reminded some viewers of the 2009 horror film The Orphan, in which a woman with stunted growth poses as a 9-year-old child who's adopted by unsuspecting parents. Now a series, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, Natalia Speaks, tells the story from the perspective of Natalia, and she takes on her adoptive parents, Michael and Christine Barnett. And here's what you need to know to be caught up for the new show, how it happened. The Barnetts were a seemingly happy middle-class family with 3 sons when they decided to expand their family by adopting a 6-year-old girl from Ukraine. Natalia has a rare dwarfism condition known as spondyloepiphyseal dysplasia congenita. Look, again, as always, I take no responsibility for not being able to say words. The Barnetts hoped she would become part of the loving family, but they soon became suspicious about her actual age. The family claimed that rather than the young child they believed they were adopting, she was an adult sociopath. It's called, let's see, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, Natalia Speaks. So I have HBO Max or whatever the subscription service is, and now it's got, okay, we used to call it Skinamax, but I guess HBO and Skinamax went together. Note, they don't have any more of the like Red Shoe Diaries or anything else. Look, the 9-year-old in me did check because that was what, look, when we found out Friends had like the you know, premium channels. What that was the first thing we looked for when we were 12 and a half, because we were like, oh my God, you guys have the premium channels. And, we were all like National Geographic and, the boob issue. And then thank you, Spirit Matter. I will work on saying that. I actually did used to work at a therapy pool, and I used to be able to say medical things, and now I don't. But yes, as soon as we learned a friend had all of the, we would, go and see if they had all of the, semi-adult things. No, they don't have them anymore. It is a rare lost art form. None of those things exist anymore. The sadness in the world. But we do have this. So apparently she was an adult sociopath. Quote, she tried to poison and kill my wife, Michael Barnett said in the curious case of Natalia Grace. They alleged several incidents of Natalia trying to harm either them or the other children. Christine Barnett did not participate in the original documentary. In 2012, the parents successfully had the courts change Natalia's legal age from 8 to 22. They moved her out of the family home and into her own apartment. Following an investigation, the Barnetts, who have since divorced, were charged with child neglect. However, Michael Barnett, who was reportedly acquitted in 2022, and charges against his former wife were dropped the following year. Natalia Grace was eventually taken in by Antoine and Cynthia Mans, a couple who befriended her, and she's now ready to share her side of what she says happened. She's denied the allegations made by her adoptive parents and asserted that she was a child when she was adopted. Yuck. A clip from the new documentary shows a now adult Natalia Grace. Can we just have dental records? Yeah, look, I mean, far be it for me to deprive us from what I am sure is going to be awesome train wreck television. But can't we just have this chick sit down for some, dental records? Are these newly adoptive parents going to be like, I don't know if y'all remember, it was big on the internet, but do we remember it was a person, I think I have to say this, a person from Canada who had fathered 7 children, but decided that they were going to be a 7-year-old girl, Stefankni, and they were adopted by BDSM couple, and they were going to be their grandchild of sorts. I mean, didn't we've been through this. I mean, are these the kind of adoptive parents we're looking at? Because I need to know what kind of train wreck. Kim Basinger used to be awesome, but she did marry Alec Baldwin voluntarily. I mean, he did used to be kind of hot. So, A clip from the new documentary shows a now adult Natalia Grace confronting Michael Barnett, asking, "Why did you adopt me in the first place?" Quote, "Many of these questions there's not going to be a single answer to," he says, before going on to tell his adoptive daughter they were both victims of the, quote, "same monster," his ex-wife and her adoptive mother. CNN has reached out to Christine Barnett for comment. The clip from the new docu-series ends with Barnett walking off after things got tense when Antoine Mans, who is a minister, asks Barnett to respect their space and not curse during the conversation. Oh, okay, so the Barnetts were already semi-famous because one of their other kids is a genius or something. Yeah, look, I mean, this looks like an entire train wreck on wheels, so I might watch it, but look, International adoption seems like you should go through a reputable company. You know, I'm just saying, this woman seems like she is milking her 15 minutes of fame, so good for her. But it always seems like, look, this is a whole lot creepy, okay? The whole thing seems a whole lot skewed. I would not be surprised if they all didn't know it, but ugh. In other and let's go again with the stinger. One-way ticket to Snake Island for all of these jerk faces. 3 arrested for allegedly kidnapping an 11-year-old girl and taking her several states away from home. And of course, these were from Indiana. Well, they took her from her home in Indiana. A trio of South Dakotan adults were arrested in Wisconsin on Sunday after an 11-year-old girl was abducted from her home in Indiana the night before, authorities say. The child in question is now safe, which is good, but all these 3, Snake Island. Nope. Just one-way ticket, Snake Island, make me a judge. Give me an airplane. Where's the one that we got? I'm sure the government confiscated one from, Jeffrey. I'm just saying. We've got the plane, we've got the fuel. I'm ready to go. Give me a robe, give me a little ruff, give me a bedazzler. I am the judge. Zachary DeLozer, 27, Sarah Guadagno, 23, and Isaiah Shrivers, 24, stand accused of 1 count each of kidnapping a minor, according to the Iowa County Sheriff's Office, the arresting agency located in the Midwestern reaches of the Badger State. All 3 were wanted on warrants issued by the Wells County Sheriff's Office, which is located in the far northeastern area of the Hoosier State. By the time of the arrest, the alleged purloined girl had traveled over 350 miles from home through the adjacent northwestern Illinois. Late Saturday, Wells County issued a silver alert for the missing girl, saying she had last been seen around 3:30 in Zanesville, a small town some 17 miles southwest of Fort Wayne. So, yeah, this is a woman. Only noted because in her troll form, her beard is slightly less pronounced. As trolls, every one of them are born with beard per Tolkien, but hers is less pronounced. But it is canonically accurate. Hers is just a little less there. Don't come at me, ma'am. Don't come at me for defaming you. I'm just saying. You've already done stolen a child, allegedly. I'm making fun of you for having a non-existent beard. Really, it's not going to be a good look. The local sheriff's office, in a Facebook post containing the girl's name and photos, said she was potentially, quote, picked up in a white Dodge Caravan. Y'all couldn't even be freaking original. You had to use a Dodge white Caravan. True. Tolkien is like, ma'am. You guys could not even use a freaking, not stereotypical, kidnapper van. At Stony Creek Estates mobile home park, a local search party was organized after the girl was reported missing, according to Fort Wayne-based ABC affiliate WPTA. Dozens of agencies were soon scouring the area to find her, including with the use of drones and at least 1 helicopter provided by state troopers. A local search went on for 7 hours. The silver alert remained in effect as officials determined she was no longer in Zanesville. During the early morning hours on Sunday, all searches were called off. According to 2 states over sheriff's office, officials received word, the wanted vehicle was spotted at a Quick Trip gas station in the small village of Barneveld. While law enforcement headed in that direction, the Dodge Caravan left, ending up in nearby Dodgeville. There, local police and sheriff's deputies initiated a traffic stop along U.S. Highway 151, and the child was safely removed, the Iowa County Sheriff's Office wrote in their Facebook post. Now, stopping here before I read the rest of the article, because I don't want to raise my blood pressure beyond what my non-existent Fitbit says, but holy God, please let these people have not had the time to do anything heinous to this child, because I don't have access to a wood chipper per se. But I'm about done with people, and it's only the third day in, and people are already done testing the Jesus in me. Let's see. Quote, as an Iowa sheriff, I can't thank everyone enough, Michael Peterson said. Being out there with this great group of professionals, watching all these agencies come together, taking these 3 adults into custody quickly and removing this 11-year-old female from the situation so she can return to her family is an amazing feeling. Thank you for making a difference in our communities. Details about the alleged kidnapping are scarce. None of the agencies involved in the case have floated a motive for the 3 adults' alleged plan, nor have they said where the defendants are believed to have been trying to take the girl. The relationship between the alleged abductee and the adults who took her, if one exists, is not immediately clear. The girl does not share the same last name as any of their alleged kidnappers. Extradition will be the next step. So all of the adults hail from South Dakota. So hopefully this little girl is going to get counseling for this. I can only imagine the fear and terror that she went through, having to be with these strange people, none of whom look like they have heard of deodorant or wake up before the crack of noon. So I can only imagine what she was subjected to, so I'm hoping that she and her family get the therapy and the resources that they need. I am glad that the authorities took this seriously, because a lot of times, authorities will take missing children and say, oh, they ran away, or, kind of put it on the back burner. So I'm glad that things were mobilized and they were quickly, found and taken care of. And I can only imagine the genius, plot that will come out of these 3, Einstein-like, mental gymnasts. I'm sure this will just be awesome, whatever they come up with. And for our final story, a retired NYPD captain shoots a man in a leg during a New Year's Eve road rage feud. No, they aren't Hoosiers. They actually, so all the kidnappers came from South Dakota. They just picked up a girl from Indiana on their way through. I don't know why. Yikes, Bobby. This is why you drive your own car when you're a roadie. I'm telling you. I mean, I don't know. Let's see. A recently retired NYPD captain shot another man in the leg during a road rage feud in Brooklyn on New Year's Eve, police sources said. Now, what I will tell you in my naive Midwestern thought, I see the traffic in New York City, but I don't imagine that anyone drives because I see the traffic. So I just assume no one drives. So The retiree who was driving a Toyota Corolla clashed with a 22-year-old man behind the wheel of a Mercedes Benz on Con- Coney Island Avenue near Brighton Beach Avenue around 2:15 p.m., the source said. Both drivers got out of their vehicle and started to argue. I don't understand getting out of your car, but that's just look, I have never cared enough about getting somewhere fast enough because I leave 15 minutes early. I am one of the neurotically early people. So, I mean, I'll get Twitter pated if I'm not 5 minutes early, but it has never been a life or death situation that yeah, the videos never relate to anything at hand. I can never understand. Both out, both got out of their vehicles to argue. He did aim for the leg, which, was mighty kind of him. He was like, I'm not going center mass. The confrontation took a violent turn when the former cop fired off a force multiplier, hitting the other motorist in the left leg. And he did go for the left leg, not I mean, most people are right-legged, so he did go for the non-dominant leg. The wounded man was taken to NYU Langone Hospital, Brooklyn, where he was listed in stable condition, the police said. The retired captain was taken to the same hospital, and it remained unclear on Monday whether he would face charges. This cop was sent to play with tape. He had just retired in October after 18 years of service due to his disability pension, according to sources. Well, I mean, it was a look, y'all, I don't know what to say. Why would you get some it's a Toyota Corolla. I don't know. I don't make the news. I simply commentate on it. But there you go. So it really wasn't his fault. He shot in the non-dominant leg. He was simply following what our resident and chief says, aim for a leg, and it was the non-dominant leg. I mean, it feels like he did everything right. Please note, these are not instructions. These are jokes. I understand if you can't understand that, please take a minute. So there you have it. That is the newsy news for this morning. You've got Jimmy Kimmel, who, is very mad at Aaron Rodgers. You've got, uh, you know, a man in Kenya who might have started, well, Kenyans now may have started fast food for lions. You've got a pastor who may or may not have, tried to put a man in a deep fryer for disrespecting his wife. Natalia Grace looks like a train wreck we might all want to watch instead of the new Star Wars that's coming out. 3 arrested and a young girl found, and a retired New York captain of police decided to shoot a man in the leg during road rage incident. You guys should be all transferred to Baker's stream. I think I put that up. So that should be done. And I get to go do glamorous, glamorous laundry and hopefully wait for my filter to come in. And then I get to do some of the videos. He is right-legged. I mean, he did shoot him in his non-dominant leg. So the broken baker, you should be redirected now. Hopefully I got that right. And take Frybert on a walk. And then I am going to be doing some little short videos that are more comedy based that you guys can share out. They're little, musings that you guys have pretty much already heard. I have one with the infamous hand workers, story, but they're shorter ones that you can kind of share out. I will also be including a couple more videos about um, the Groves case, and then I will probably be putting up a schedule. We will probably be getting in the weekend. I will be doing opening statements for the Groves trial. Again, I know it is probably not everyone's cup of tea. I encourage you to watch. I believe Megan is doing a stream at 3, so I am going to try to hustle my bustle and get the boys early and then join her stream. So that is my now I do know I believe Legal Vices is doing something fairly soon. So that is my working knowledge. I was a little out of it last night, so I think that is where everything is going as far as I know it. I was a little hesitant to get on Megan's last night because I had just taken off my makeup, and I realized I am slightly vain. I will say that the nitrous oxide or whatever the laughing gas, um, I don't know what she was doing. All I kept thinking about was Dark Knight Rising and Two-Faced, and I was like, "Please tell me there's not a hole in my cheek because I feel a whole lot like Two-Faced." All I kept seeing was the scene in the hospital right before the Joker as Heath Ledger comes out, and I was like, "Please tell me. I always wanted to be more of a Heath Ledger, and now I feel like Two-Faced. Please tell me I don't look like Two-Faced." And I was like, I didn't think that I was a really vain person, but I was like, "Please tell me I don't have a hole in my cheek." And she's like, "No, sweetie, you don't." And I was like, "Oh, good. That's really good." Because I always wanted to be the Joker if I was going to be anyone. And she's like, "That's interesting." So, yeah. N- the laughing gas was interesting, but I could definitely so despite being a fake redhead, my body eats lidocaine. So she has to really numb me up. And I still felt it all the way up here when she was uh pulling out the tooth. And I was I was just like, I was like, well, it still kind of hurts, but I don't want to have to wait for you to numb it up. So let's just get this done. And then I was like, I was like, can I just have laughing gas for all the things like Thanksgiving and stuff? Because I think people would be a lot more fun if I had gas and air, as the Brits call it. I was like, I could have a whole nother kid. Like labor would be hilarious with this stuff because I've watched One Born every minute and I could do like 3 more labors with this stuff. Mr. Mo is opposed to that. Well, actually, I think so. I floated the idea of if I get to 5,000 that I get a puppy, and Mr. Mo is like, I'd rather have another child. And I was like, I will put that on the post bowl or, the polls. And Mr. Mo was like, no to both. And I was like, yes to both, puppy and child. But yeah, if we brought gas and air Yeah, I don't know what just happened with the internet, but the internet is like no more children. Yes, to a puppy. But I am going to leave you here because I do have to take Fry out, even though he's like, I will nap all day. Have a wonderful. I guess the internet was like, no, no more children. We will drop you. Like you and the internet's like, no, no more children, Mo. It's not gonna happen. We will put a stop to this right now. You will get you will get yeeted. So have a wonderful day. Try to say something nice to yourself, say something nice to others. Compliments go so nicely. You just see people's face light up, and it's just a nice way when you're an introvert and socially awkward to say something nice to someone. Bobby. Have a good day. I'm going to work on those videos, laundry, and, trying to be a better human-ish. So have a wonderful day. I will see you later. Bye, guys.